Hello, my name is Carolyn Knight and I'll be the project manager for the implementation of our new upgrade to our ERP system, which is known as ServiceShare. Why does ServiceShare need to be deployed? Where's the value? What is the cost of this new upgrade? How will it affect my job? First of all, Crossover encompasses multiple software companies and they all have billing, human resource, and procurement needs every single day. Before, which is now, Crossover used and he still uses multiple portals and emails to process invoices, assign personnel, and track and monitor vendors. This has resulted in lost revenue due to misplaced invoices and the poor tracking of vendors and personnel. ServiceShare is intended to solve these problems and has been added to the Crossover ERP system to be both a client and internal-facing portal to which each vendor, functional lead, and client can log in to upload invoices, request personnel, and add vendors. So it will begin to be deployed on the January of 2019, and it will complete in March of 2019. It will lead to less billing errors, financial gain, and improved vendor focus, and better utilization of resources. The cost at this time is expected to be under $500,000. We're actually shooting for under $300,000. And how will it affect your job? Of course, it'll improve the overall performance of all Crossover teams. Now I'm going to take you over to help you understand how to use Smartsheet to track the budget for this project and also to track your tasks that you've been performing. I'm going to move this over. I have created two workspaces in Smartsheet, the first one being our ServiceShare Crossover budgets. If I open this, each team member will have their own sheet in which they can track their expenses. This is extremely important for you to do and make sure that you're mindful of it. I know you'll be using the the WS Pro Clock, the tool to track your time, but you need to correspond it to this sheet because this is going to feed into our costs and will affect all the reports when we're reporting the current revenue, which is generated from our current product. As you can see, there's already been a forecast for the revenue that will be produced, and there'll be a 5% cost increase once this implementation is completed. In these reports, the cost forecasting has already been integrated and will be paid upfront rather than amortized over the course of 5 years. Actually, finance is still figuring that out if that needs to happen. So again, make sure that you absolutely track everything in your Smartsheet. All our budgets have been laid out in our general ledger. So if I'm to go to January, you can see the forecasted costs here. So let me go ahead and take you over to explain how to enter your individual costs. If you click on the paperclip here, you will see the budget sheet instructions along with an upgrade plan, which I expect each team member to contribute to. I'll go ahead and show you an example just to get you comfortable with how this will work. So if you did a use case in the first week of February, you can write use case, make sure it corresponds to the next sheet that I will show you, how many hours you worked, perhaps you worked 40 hours, and your billable rate. This will calculate. These labor expenses will feed into other reports, so it's very important that you do this accurately. Another way you need to track expenses is include any miscellaneous expenses. So if you're in charge of purchasing the Amazon cloud space for our upgrade, you can list it here and then put in the amount, and that will total and feed into our reports. Make sure that you hit this, make sure that you always save. Let me push this over, hit the disk. And if you're mindful of this every week, we won't have an issue with our budget report. The next thing that I want to explain to you is our timeline for our implementation. get familiar with the Smartsheet that has been laid out for this project. And make sure that your progress is tracked here. For example, during our planning phase, the system requirements need to be identified and documented, and all affected system diagrams need to be created in Lucidchart. This is the role of the IT analyst. If you hit your drop-down, you can select your name, and if you've completed the task, it will be tracked here. You just enter in your percentage. If you hit any of the paper clips, you'll have supporting documentation. If you need to make any notes, you can do so here as well. Just make sure that you put it in Google Drive. As you can see, if I select this paper clip here, everything is in Google Drive, so it can be opened and shared with other team members. So once you make a change to our implementation plan, you can document it here and save it here too. That way, all 7 members of our team can collaborate effectively. Remember to save all your progress because it'll be reflected in our dashboard. Here. Thank you for listening to these instructions. I'll be talking with you further at our kickoff meeting.